Salve discipli, and welcome to Magister Audi's Latin lessons. Today we have passives, Capitulum 6 in Lingua Latina. So, with passives, first we're going to talk about what is a passive in English, and then we'll move into Latin. So, in English, a passive is where you're taking a sentence and kind of removing the action out of it. An example, Mrs. Straka drops the pen. It's happening instantly, right? Now, if I were to make this passive, I would say the pen is being dropped by Mrs. Straka. Do you see how it took way longer to actually get to the point of what was happening versus Mrs. Straka drops the pen? It's happening right now. It takes a lot longer and removes a lot of the action when you're saying the pen is being dropped by Mrs. Straka. It takes so much longer. So, we have that in Latin as well as in English. So, I have it already written up here. This is the English, and we'll actually do this in Latin. Sorry, trying to get this figured out. So, here we have the active. This is the active, okay? It's happening immediately. Also notice, way less words. Way less words. This is the passive. Way more words. And you're going to notice two things that are going to show up in every passive sentence, and it's a dead giveaway that it's passive. Is being, by. Every time. Every passive sentence will have these in there. Or if it's plural, it'll be are being. But, whatever. So, the pen is being dropped by Mrs. Straka. Now, in Latin, we can do this as well. So, we'll use one of our most famous Latin sentences, Marcus pulsat Juliam, because Marcus really likes punching Julia, and he does it a lot in chapter 3. So, if we were writing this in Latin, our normal sentence, and I'll do it in English order just to make it a little bit easier, our usual sentence would be Marcus pulsat Juliam, right? What does that say? Marcus punches Julia. It's happening right away, right? Okay, I'm going to write it in passive and see if you can tell what are the two things that change about the sentence. Oops, sorry. Hold on. This is going to take a second. While I'm writing this, can everybody please take out your whiteboards because we're going to start practicing this in a minute. But just while I'm writing, you guys can be doing that so that we're being productive with our time. Okay, hopefully you have your whiteboards out. I finished writing it. So, in the active, it was Marcus pulsat Julia. Happens instantly. Juliam, I'm sorry. Marcus pulsat Juliam. It happens instantly. She's receiving the action of being hit by her brother, okay? In the passive, it is Julia pulsatur a Marco. Now take a second. What did I do to the verb? Everybody take a second. So the first one was Marcus pulsat Juliam. The second one, the passive, is Julia pulsatur a Marco. What did I do to the verb? Who has it? Can someone shout out what I did? I don't know if you got it, but I'm going to hope you did. That is right. It is tour instead of pulsat. Pulsatur, not pulsat. Now, can anybody see what word, technically it's a word, even though it's only one letter, was added to the sentence? Give it a second. Can anyone see it? Shout it out if you found it. What was added that doesn't show up anywhere in this sentence? That's right. Ah. This literally just means by. Ah means by. You will always see tour and ah every single passive sentence in Latin. Similar to how I said, we'll always see is being and by in any English passive sentence. Then the other thing you'll notice is the ending on Julia and the ending on Marco. Now, Julia doesn't have the direct object ending, right? That's because she's not being hit instantly, right? In this one, Marcus pulls out Julian. He punches her, right? In this one, we're saying Julia is being punched by Marcus. So instead, we have, this is like the preposition ending. It's technically called the, but we're not, well, I'm not going to get into that. I'm sorry, I won't confuse you. But this is basically the object of the preposition ending, because this is a prepositional phrase. By Marcus is prepositions, right? So she doesn't have that direct object ending because we're saying Yulia, subject, is being punched by Marcus. That's how we make it a passive. So you'll also notice it actually falls into English order with it. Okay, so what I want you guys to do, first thing that we're going to practice, I'm going to write a sentence in passive in Latin, and you guys are going to translate it. Remember, it always has is being and by in the sentence, okay? That tour ending literally just translates itself as is being. There you go. All right, so I'm going to give you a sentence. Let's do... Having to think for a second because instant inventions of sentences is hard, guys. Okay, we'll kind of stick with pulsat just because that's a pretty easy one. Okay, so our sentence is Quintus pulsatur a Marco. I should technically put that right there. Okay, Quintus pulsatur a Marco. Now this is passive. I want you guys to translate it into English for me. So if we were doing active, it would be Marcus pulsat Quintum. Marcus punches Quintus. However, it's passive. And it literally translates in order. So if you put Marcus at the beginning of the sentence, you're doing something wrong. Quintus is the beginning of the sentence. So this just gives away the beginning. Quintus is being something by Marco. Okay. Give you a few seconds. Dum-da-dum-da-dum. I'll drink some tea while you guys are writing. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boards up. Okay. The correct translation is, because it's in the same order, remember, Quintus, and we have our tour, is being, what is pulsa, everybody? Good. Punched. What is I even wrote it on here. By. And who is he being punched by? Marcus. That is correct. Quintus is being punched by Marcus. Okay, we're going to do another one. We're going to do another one. Sorry, I got to erase all this. Okay. It helps when I have a much larger whiteboard that I usually have in the classroom because I can just move next to it. But on this one, I have to erase and restart. Okay, let's do... we're going to do a feminine one this time. And you'll notice with the feminine, something very special about the ending. So we know Marcus became Marco. For masculine, that'll always happen. It'll always be that O. It won't be some other ending. It'll always be Marco. In the feminine, it is just A with a macron. Now, I'm not normally nitpicky about macrons. I'm going to be nitpicky about this because it's showing, you'll notice these are the same ending. This shows that she is the one, like that this is happening by her. So that macron, I'm going to be nitpicky about. Don't forget the macron. Okay. But anyways, we're translating right now. So, Amelia vocatur a Julia. So, Amelia is being... Do you guys remember what voca is, by the way? Does anybody know it? Check chapter Capitulum 3 vocab. Capitulum 3 vocab has it. Anybody? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm trying not to drop my pen. I'm not sure if anybody had it, but it was call. Vocat is call. Ah. All right. Everybody translate on your whiteboards. I kind of gave most of it away, so hopefully you have it. I will drink more tea while you guys figure it out. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boards up. All right. Correct answer. Remember, it translates in order. Amelia. Sorry, this is not going to be super neat because I'm writing sideways. What is tour, everybody? Is being. Okay. We already know voca is called. Amelia is being called by, and who is calling her? It's Julia. Okay. Good, good. Yeah? All right. Let's do another one, and then we're going to switch it up. For the teacher, if people are struggling a bit more, please go back and repeat from the beginning at this point and redo it and use the second half of this video for later, because we're going to do another exercise where the students are actually translating an active into a passive. If they are struggling with that though, just take it back to the beginning and then worry about that for a different class time. All right, we're going to do another masculine here. Medus, vocatur, a Julio. So, medus, vocatur, a Julio. You already know how the sentence is going to start because it's going to start the same. Voca, we just had. So, guys, we just had voca. You should remember it. Tour, always translated as is being. And you guys hopefully remember, it's by. Okay, give you a second. Medus, vocatur, a Julio. Give you a couple more seconds. I'm going to refill my teacup because I'm out. Shift back over here. Medus, vocatur, a Julio. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boards up. All right. How does the sentence start, everybody? What's going to be our first word? Medus. That's right. Medus. What is tour? Is being. You guys should know voca because we just had it. Called a Julio by Julius. Now, Mrs. Straka was a little bit sneaky. If you wrote by Julia, you are wrong because it's that O. That means it's masculine. So it was being called by Julius because, you know, Julius is his master. And he ran away from him, so he's probably yelling for him. I would think at this point. Okay, so if we're doing good at this point, teachers, keep on going. If not, repeat this video from this point. But if we're doing good, we're going to translate into passive. So, everybody, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a sentence in English first. We're going to do English sentences. I'm going to write a sentence in English, and it's going to be active. I want you to write the passive of the sentence on your whiteboards, okay? So, English first. We're not doing it in Latin right now. So, we'll start easy. We will start with Marcus punches Julia. That is going to be our English sentence that we start with. Marcus punches Julia. I want you to make this passive. So remember, if it's passive, the giveaways, it will always have is being and by. Sorry, that is not very neat. While you guys write on your whiteboard, I'm going to make that look neater. So, Marcus punches Yulia. On your whiteboard, in English, I want you to write what the English passive version of this sentence would be. Because it wouldn't be Marcus punches Yulia. That happens too fast. And I'll give you a hint. It's going to start with Yulia. It will start with Yulia, and then I won't give away the rest of it. But Yulia is definitely the start of the sentence. All right. Give you a couple seconds. While you're working on that, I'm going to make this look neater. Okay. Keep going. I'll give you a few more seconds. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boards up. All right. So instead of Marcus punches Yulia, it would be Yulia is being punched by Marcus. How many people got that right? Kudos to you if you got it right. Now notice, we checked off, it had is being and it had by. Is being, by. You see that? All right, let's do another one. Let's see how much you were paying attention at the beginning of the video. Your active sentence is, Mrs. Straka drops the pen. How much were you paying attention when this video started? Mrs. Straka drops the pen. I want you to make that sentence passive. Boom. Now make sure you have your check marks. Is, being, and by have to be in there, or else it isn't passive. Mrs. Straka drops the pen. Give you a few seconds. Sorry, this is my tea today, and I need it to stay awake. Time change is crazy, y'all. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boards up. All right. The correct answer is the pen. That was not neat. I am so sorry. The pen is being dropped by Mrs. Straka. Oh my goodness. The pen is very offended that it has been dropped twice now. Okay. Now, do we have our check marks? What are our 2 check marks that we have to make sure we have, or else it's not passive? Is being, by. Got both of them. It's passive. All right. Now it's time for a twist. I'm going to write a passive sentence, and y'all have to write what the active is. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. How very villainous of me. All right. Let's do. The book is being dropped by the student. All right. So now it's a reversal. You guys have to write the active. This is the passive. The book is being dropped by the student. We know it's passive because it has is being and by. Now you have to make this active, which means these should not be in the sentence, right? Okay, so the book is being dropped by the student. Make it active for me. How would we say this actively, not passively? I'll give you a few seconds. Dum, bum, bum. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boards up. All right. The correct answer is the student drops the book. Kapow. That's the active. The student drops the book. It just happens. All right. We're going to do one more of these. And then I'm going to kind of change my mind. We'll be done for the day. We're going to have a passives episode 2, and that's where we're going to be taking our active Latin sentences and turning them into passive. So we'll be walking through that in episode 2. But for now, this is almost the end of episode 1. We're going to do one more where I give you the passive and you make it active. And we'll move on from there. So, we will do the tea is being drunk by the teacher. Because I am drinking tea right now. I might have just given away what the answer is. Oops. It's okay. We'll be fine. All right. The tea is being drunk by the teacher. Please make this active. I want to actively drink this tea. It is sitting here tempting me. I want to actively drink this. Allow me to actively drink this tea by making this passive sentence active. The tea is being drunk by the teacher. We have our 2 things here that definitely make it passive. So this have to go away if it's going to be active, right? All right. Also, the verb will change slightly because this is just one of the weird things about English. Latin doesn't do this to you. It doesn't take drink to drunk for past tense. It's weird. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boards up. All right. Correct answer is the teacher drinks the tea. Thank goodness I get to drink it. Ooh. That was torturous having to wait 10 seconds. Perish the thought. All right. So hopefully now you guys have a pretty good understanding of the difference between active and passive. We went over it just a touch in Latin. That's it in English. So in part 2, we're going to go into how to make it passive, and you guys are going to practice changing active to passive in Latin. But for now, that is it, and I will see you all next time. Vale, Discipoli.